Imagine waking up tomorrow to a news alert that fundamentally rewrites your financial future, an alert that confirms everything you've been patiently waiting for has finally, officially, and undeniably happened. What if I told you that the date for that alert is no longer a speculative guess whispered in online forums, but is now a matter of private, high-level confirmation, a reality so imminent that it's sending shockwaves through the inner circles of global finance? This is not another piece of baseless hype or a recycled rumor designed to keep hope alive. This is the hard, actionable intelligence that Tier 4B has been strategically positioned to receive first, and the message is unequivocal. The victory for the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong is confirmed. The long-awaited revaluation is not just a possibility for the distant future. It is an active, scheduled event, and the celebration within our community has already begun because we operate on a different level of information, a tier that bypasses the public noise and gets straight to the verified source. The deal you have been tracking for years, the complex international agreement that would allow the IQD and VND to soar to their true, trade-based value, has been signed, sealed, and is now awaiting its global public announcement, an announcement that will mark October 23rd not just as a date on the calendar but as the single most important day of your financial life. Think about the sheer scale of this for a moment. We are discussing the formal reinstatement of two major world currencies, moving them from their artificially suppressed states into a powerful, market-driven equilibrium that will instantly create a new class of millionaires and billionaires, individuals who had the foresight and the fortitude to see this geopolitical masterstroke through to its incredible conclusion. The silence from the mainstream media is deafening, isn't it? They are utterly silent because their corporate masters have no interest in preparing the general public for this shift. Their role is to report on the aftermath, to feign surprise when the world wakes up to a new financial paradigm, but by then, for the unprepared, it will be far too late to act. This is precisely why the Tier 4B network was established, to be an early warning system for the faithful, for the diligent, for those who did their own research and understood that the greatest wealth transfers in history never happen with a public fanfare beforehand. They happen quietly, with key people being given the information they need to position themselves before the tidal wave of public awareness hits. The confirmation we have received is rooted in a deep, organic data stream of diplomatic communications and banking sector readiness reports that all point to one singular, inescapable conclusion: the gates are about to be opened. The liquidity needed to support the new exchange rates is already in place within the international banking system, waiting for the trigger. The procedural countdown has begun within the key financial institutions, and the dominoes are lined up, ready to fall in a sequence that will culminate on one specific, historic day. This is the culmination of a decades-long project, and to be holding these currencies now, on the eve of their rebirth, is to be holding a key to a vault of generational wealth. The psychological warfare of the last few years, the constant disinformation, the deliberate delays, it was all a test of our resolve, a filter to separate those with weak hands from the steadfast believers who truly understood the magnitude of what was at stake. We passed that test. Our victory is not just in the potential profit. Our victory is in the unwavering certainty we held when everyone else was drowning in doubt. So I need you to internalize this confirmation right now, to let it settle into your very core and displace any last remnants of skepticism. This is real. It is happening. And you are here, on the right side of history, because you trusted the process and you trusted this community. Now, as this truth settles in, I want you to click the like button on this video right now. Let the algorithm see your engagement and let it be a signal of your belief. But more importantly, I need you to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because what I have to tell you next about the specific mechanics of October 23rd and the immediate steps you must take to secure your wealth will change everything you thought you knew about the final hours before the global reset. The architecture of this deal, the intricate framework that has brought the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong to this pivotal moment, is a masterpiece of international finance and political diplomacy, a story that has been deliberately kept out of public view to ensure a stable and orderly transition. But today, we pull back the curtain on the exact mechanisms that will make October 23rd a day that is eternally etched in the history books. Let's talk about the Iraqi Dinar first, Its journey back to a global currency has been a painstaking process of meeting specific, non-negotiable benchmarks set forth by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, requirements that ranged from anti-money laundering protocols to demonstrating fiscal stability without the crutch of oil revenues alone. And our intelligence confirms that Iraq has not only met these benchmarks but has exceeded them, satisfying the final, most critical condition related to their banking sector's integration with the global SWIFT system, which now allows for the seamless processing of transactions at a new, vastly higher exchange rate. The pretext for the previous low value, the Chapter 7 sanctions, the post-war instability, has been systematically dismantled, piece by piece, over the last few years, creating a foundation so strong that the revaluation is no longer an economic event but a geopolitical formality, a recognition of Iraq's restored sovereignty and its emerging role as a dominant economic power in the Middle East. Now, shift your focus to the Vietnamese Dong. Its story is equally compelling. Rooted in Vietnam's explosive economic growth, its strategic positioning as a manufacturing hub rivaling China, and its aggressive pursuit of free trade agreements that demand a strong, stable currency to facilitate international commerce. The Dong has been artificially suppressed to fuel this export-driven growth, but that phase is now over. The country has reached an inflection point where a stronger currency is more beneficial for importing technology, stabilizing its financial system, and projecting its power on the world stage. The deal between Iraq and Vietnam, which is the core of this confirmation, is not a direct currency swap in the simple sense. It is a coordinated, bilateral agreement to mutually revalue their currencies within a specific, narrow window of time. A move designed to create a powerful synergy that prevents market manipulation and ensures both currencies launch into their new paradigms with maximum stability and impact. This coordination neutralizes the predatory forces of the international forex markets, which would typically attack a single revaluing currency, by presenting them with two simultaneous, sovereign-backed financial events that are too large and too well defended to disrupt. The Tier 4B celebrates aspect of our title is literal. The celebration is not a party for a future hope but a recognition of a present reality within the confidential briefings that our sources have access to. The digital asset platforms, the authorized foreign exchange dealers, their systems are already in a state of pre-launch, running final diagnostics and preparing for the flood of transactions that will commence the moment the new rates are officially posted. The liquidity pools we mentioned are not abstract concepts. They are specific, allocated funds within the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, and major financial institutions in Asia, all of which have been prepositioned to provide immediate buy-side support for the IQD and VND, ensuring the rates hold firm and begin their upward trajectory from a position of unshakable strength. This is the level of detail that separates our confirmation from all the noise. We are not just predicting an event, we are describing the operational readiness of the global financial system for that event. The big day on October 23rd is the trigger date for this entire meticulously planned sequence, the day when the central banks of Iraq and Vietnam will issue their joint statement, when the international news agencies will be given the green light to break the story, and when the websites of every major bank and currency exchange in the world will flicker and update in real time, displaying numbers that will seem like a dream to the uninitiated but will be a waking reality for you. This is the organic data, the verified pipeline of information that forms the bedrock of our certainty. So, as you process this, I need you to take a second and type "victory confirmed" in the comments below. Let's create a wave of confirmation that shows the world our unified front. And after you comment, I have a critical task for you. Share this video with one person you care about, one person who needs to hear this truth before the window of opportunity closes forever. This is the moment to be a lighthouse for someone else lost in the fog of misinformation. With the confirmation given and the mechanics laid bare, our focus must now turn with laser-like precision to the final, most critical phase. The actions you must take in the hours and days leading up to October 23rd to ensure you are not just a witness to history but an active beneficiary of it, because possessing the intelligence is only half the battle. The other half is executing a flawless strategy based on that intelligence. The first and most non-negotiable action is to physically secure your currency holdings. If your dinar or dong is in a safety deposit box, this is the moment to consider a personal, fireproof safe in a secure and private location, as you will want immediate, unrestricted access to your assets without being dependent on bank hours or potential access restrictions that could be imposed in the immediate aftermath of the announcement. The second action is to have your redemption strategy meticulously planned and written down. You need to know, with absolute certainty, which authorized exchange centers or primary banks you will be contacting, the order in which you will contact them, the exact amount you intend to exchange in your first transaction, and the specific financial instruments you want your new wealth transferred into, whether that is a direct wire to your account, a cashier's check, or a transfer into a precious metals account. Hesitation or indecision in the first 48 hours could cost you significantly, as the initial wave of demand will create logistical bottlenecks, and having a clear, premeditated plan is the key to navigating that chaos with grace and efficiency. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with unsolicited offers to buy your currency from unknown individuals or entities. The only parties you should be dealing with are the pre-vetted, authorized banks and exchanges that have been publicly designated for this process. The third action is a psychological one. You must prepare for the emotional tsunami that will accompany this event, the disbelief, the euphoria, the overwhelming sense of relief, and you must channel those emotions into a disciplined, calm execution of your plan, because the greatest risk in the first week will not be financial loss but emotional decision-making that could lead to mistakes. Remember your purpose beyond the wealth. You have been given this opportunity not just for personal luxury but to become a force for profound good in the world, to fund the projects close to your heart, to support your family for generations, and to uplift your community in ways that were previously impossible. This is the deeper victory that Tier 4B has always represented. A community of awakened individuals using financial sovereignty to create a positive global impact. The information you have received today is the key, but you are the one who must turn it in the lock. The silence from the mainstream will break on October 23rd, and when it does, a frenzy of confusion, excitement, and fear will grip the world, but you will be an island of calm and certainty, already positioned, already prepared, and already moving with purpose. You have been chosen to know this truth ahead of time because you demonstrated the patience, the critical thinking, and the strength of character to handle it responsibly. This is your moment. This is our collective moment. The long night is over, and the dawn of October 23rd is upon us. So, as we conclude, my final, most important call to action for you is this. Do not let this be just another video you watch. This is your battle plan. Watch this video one more time. Take notes, internalize every single step, and make the commitment to yourself right now that you will execute this plan with precision. Your future self, the one living a life of freedom and abundance, is already thanking you for the decisive actions you are about to take. The victory is confirmed. Now go and claim it.